Yeah, I think we discussed quite a lot of points. We started with this GAO, the standard, and then we discussed a little bit about the PMI best practices for scheduling, which becomes the basis
Sure.
for the PMI-SP certification. And you feel that the GAO is more user-friendly. GAO guidelines is more user-friendly for the practitioner. Uh, and
Yes.
and the first thing, see, before starting the scheduling, you will have the WBS in place. You will have the bill of quantities in place. You will have the cost breakdown structure in place. And after that
Exactly.
only you move on to the scheduling so that you can have a timeline based cost, which is nothing but budget against which you can do all the monitoring and controlling of the costing. And we
Correct.
also discussed that it is not a one-man show. Scheduling is done by
Never.
a team comprising
A
of
team, indeed.
hands-on domain experts. And
Correct.
another challenge is not missing out the completeness part of the scheduling and the practicality of the schedule. So for these two things, I'm sure that you'll be doing some the reviews, special reviews, or some best practices for ensuring the completeness.
Correct.
Can you recommend some of these best practices that can help us to ensure completeness? One was you said, okay, it is schedules are not created from ground zero. It is always, you're using a tool which has the libraries, so it is only a matter of customizing the existing libraries. So that itself will ensure that you are not missing out a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Apart from that, do you do some best practices to ensure completeness and practicality?
Yes, we do that, and I mean, when we say like we're taking activities from a library, so we, I mean, there are still chances that you might miss some activities from there. I mean, it's still possible. We are human. We are bound to make some errors sometime. I mean, it happens. So, but the best thing, to make sure your schedule is very very much aligned or very much uh, in terms of completeness, it is capturing everything. The best thing would be, first thing we do is the review by the necessary stakeholders. So you need to make sure like all the stakeholders that are involved in your team, um, external, internal, everyone. So they will review the schedule, and they will come up with, if there is anything missing on that part. So that is regarding the completeness. So I mean, as a scheduler, I will also go through the complete schedule, and the planner will go through the schedule. But the main part is from the execution team or other stakeholders, the inspection guys, the operation guys, or the contractor. Even the contractors play a key role in defining your duration for each his activity. So that also plays a key role there. So when we complete a schedule, we make sure like it's handed over to each stakeholder for review, and they come up with their comments, if any changes. If not, we accept the schedule to be good enough. And the second thing, like for analysis part, just to make sure like your schedule stands good. I mean, we do a risk analysis, and we make sure like the schedule is, we say, okay, we consider, in our case, we consider like it should comply like 80%. Your schedule should be in that window. I mean, we take it as a percentage. So like if it's 80%, you are uh, in your schedule range. It's good enough. It's a good schedule. So that's where we do some risk analysis, and like the Monte which uses the Monte Carlo simulation, and it gives you your estimate, like the pessimist and optimistic part. So it plays a key role there to know, like, okay, you're still good with your schedule, your duration that you have defined. And once you're done with this, then comes your I mean, yeah, one thing I missed was the critical path. So on the critical path also, we need to define the critical path. So there are, I mean, I can say, like, one is the one way is to look for the longest activity in your schedule, longest part. I mean, the sequence that takes the longest part. That is one way, and the other is, by expert judgment. Like, you as a stakeholder, like, okay, my this equipment is very critical, my this activity will be critical, my this part is coming from an external source. I mean, we are dependent on external dependencies. So these are some constraints that will be driving your schedule at a point of time. But this will not be your longest duration. This will not be a part of your longest duration, but this will be very critical to you. I mean, from a definition of scheduling, it says the the longest activity or the longest part of your schedule is your critical path, without any floats. But practically it's not the situation. It's not happening much of the time. And you tend to, I mean, you take expert judgment and you come up with your own critical path. You say, okay, my 10 equipments, these things are very critical for my operations to start the refinery. So we say, okay, so this will be my critical path, and then we go with the near critical path. And that is where, we define the completeness of the overall schedule, like it stands good, so that everyone reviewing it is 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 giving their contribution, like, okay, we are good with it.
So you're doing some kind of critical chain also within the schedule. So
Yes, we
you
have.
look at things from the criticality or the complexity or the criticality or the impact part also, apart from
Yes, very
the
important.
duration. And
Indeed.
another aspect could be the near critical paths also, right? So
Correct.
maybe I think, yeah, because today's discussion, our focus is on completeness,
Completeness. Yes.
completeness of scheduling activities. And yeah, while talking to you, see, it is an ocean. Okay, a perfect schedule that is an ocean. So I think we will cover one topic at a time. And
That
today,
would be better.
today our thrust area was completeness of the schedule. I
Yes.
think we could do some justice to that topic.
Sure.
Uh, yeah, because basically, yeah, WBS must be complete. For that,
Indeed.
scope definition must be complete. WBS must be complete.
Your
Uh,
milestone should be defined.
yeah, cost estimation must be accurate. Bill of quantities must be, there should be one-to-one mapping between the bill of quantities and the cost
Indeed.
estimation and the WBS and work packages, whatever.
Correct.
Then the key takeaway is the usage of tools, libraries. So it is more of analogous. Okay, it is not, you are not doing it from ground zero. So you take a
No.
best match and then customize it. And another point I could take was it is always a team effort. You identify the key stakeholders for the scheduling activity itself. Then you come out with look ahead plans and work accordingly. And it is collective wisdom that is captured into the schedule. And it
Sure.
goes, then we discussed about critical paths, near critical paths, and critical activities also. Yeah. Then we also touched upon Monte Carlo analysis. Maybe in the subsequent discussions, I think we should go in depth into how you really do Monte Carlo analysis. What are the
Sure.
tools we are using? So that way, it was a good. It gave me a lot of insights into the real life scheduling
Indeed.
aspects.
But still, I
Because
would say, I would say like, this was industry specific. Like this was considering the turnaround industry, the shutdown industry. Whereas when you go for EPC, it it I mean the scheduling part remains the same. How you develop the schedule, but only thing will change will be your work activities. So EPC and turnaround, they are two different things, and but the scheduling principle remains the same. The stakeholders involved will be there, and but the thing is the domain will be different, and you won't find similar equipments or similar activities in both industries. So it will be user specific. So the user has to take the information and make the best use of it, because even when you refer the PMI book or the GAO assessment guide, they don't refer like it's only based for EPC projects, or it's based, or because they build
yeah,
something like it should be a
it's
it should be a common platform. Yeah,
generic. Yeah, it's very generic.
very
Uh,
generic.
Now, see, what is really interesting for me is now in EPC, now engineering has to draw a schedule
Yes.
for engineering part. And there
Right.
itself, we have multiple disciplines coming in. So one
Indeed.
department alone cannot draw that schedule. Similarly,
Right.
procurement, you need to come out with a schedule. And construction activities, another schedule. Then we are talking
Correct.
about uh, no the uh, that the terminology I'm unable to recollect now. Uh, uh, See, that is okay, but then on top of it now in a BIM environment, how you really do it, maybe. Okay, that'll be
Sure.
boggling actually. So BIM environment, BIM is just the virtual part of it. Then
Yes.
yeah, the background we have to do the highly collaborative stuff, even to put things into place. That can be even quite interesting to explore. So scheduling in a BIM environment can be, yeah, it will be really nice because in a virtual design and construction, maybe BIM is only the virtual part of it. But then how does other
Yes.
things happen? Or do we do something differently from the traditional project management where BIMs are not used? Or those things, is it going to be the same? Uh,
Correct.
those aspects, I think, yeah, we'll catch up in the subsequent discussions.
Sure, but I mean, schedule, it's a data-driven activity. I mean, it's completely. I mean, the more good precise data you feed in, the more information, or the more m- uh, exact report, or like um, we can say a report or analysis,
Or
or you can
predictability
use
rather, yeah.
predictability. Yes, you can use your schedule more precisely when you have the data is defined. Uh, I mean, when you populate the data as per your requirement, and as per your project requirement. So it's very important to know like what you need in a schedule. And this is where we define activity codes and all those things. And we come up with applications or tools like Roser. They help you define the minimum requirement, or the minimum activity coding that is needed. So this really helps in the execution part. When you are doing the execution, you can make very good analysis, predictability, and you can create dashboards. And the same, I mean, same as you do in BIM. Like you see the virtual project coming up, and you can realize how it's happening. So the same thing you can do with tools like Power BI, and you take all your data from your schedule and create create interactive dashboard. So,
Yeah.
but
See, I'm working closely with this company called Wrench, and they
mhm,
have this smart project tool, which is used by a lot of infrastructure projects as a common data environment.
okay,
And it allows you to see almost real-time status of the project. Uh,
exactly,
yeah, without doing any data entry. So
correct.
all the workflows are automated. So the schedule, yeah. So you can see the status of the project at least till yesterday. You can see today. And now more and more companies are using tools like this. This Roser, you said, is it uh, some specific application for, is it a generic project management tool, or is it for only for turnaround?
No, it's only for turnaround.
Okay.
It's specifically made for turnaround business.
Okay. So they have a niche segment there.
Yes, turnaround, shutdowns, and maintenance.
Maintenance. Okay. So it becomes easier for them to define the libraries as well.
Exactly, yes.
And is the Monte Carlo built into it?
No,
Or,
it's not built into it. For Monte Carlo, you have different applications, and there are different companies, there are different tools. So,
right.
but the data comes in from your schedule. I mean, it's the same schedule, your Primavera P6 schedule or your MS project schedule. They take the data from there, and then the tool takes care of it.
So have you come across any real-time scenarios where AI is used in scheduling?
Mm, I haven't experienced it. It depends which company you work for, and if the
Yeah.
company is interested in investment, doing the investment for these tools. But no, for my case, I can say like I haven't experienced that. But yes, we are getting very near to it.
Right.
We are almost close. Like we are using the tools that that does those part, I mean the AI thing, but we are still not there. I mean, it will take some time. This is developing, and the market is developing, and the IT infrastructure is improving a lot. So yes, there are companies that are coming up, but it's still an ongoing process.
Yeah, but at least you'll have historical data to base your estimates. Uh,
Yes,
yeah.
very
So,
important.
and once it is there, then yeah, the projections can be made or inferences can be made. So historical data, clean historical data could be the challenge. Okay, the data must be
Exactly.
clean, well captured. So I think the industry is moving towards that, and maybe that's why I asked this question. Glad to know that, okay, you are very close to it or near to it. I think that is the industry status as of now.
Yes.
Nobody has really started leveraging it. Everybody is talking about it and planning for it, but things have not really materialized there. Maybe that is the
No.
trend we are going to see in 2023, maybe, hopefully. Okay.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much for your time
You're welcome, maybe.
and your willingness to share your knowledge and experience with the audience. And we'll come out with more presentations like this.
Sure,
Uh,
I would appreciate that. Thank you
y-
for your
yeah.
time.
Thank you very much, and enjoy your weekend. In India, we have
Yeah.
a long weekend. Yeah, because Monday is a holiday for us. Diwali.
Even here, even
Oh,
here, I mean,
oh,
this country, Suriname, is Indian based. I mean, like the Indians migrated here, so we
ah,
also celebrate here the Monday as a public holiday.
Oh, is it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, so it's a long weekend for both of us. So
Sure.
let us enjoy our weekends, and thank you once again.
You're welcome, maybe.
Yeah, thanks.
My pleasure.
Yeah, okay, okay then. Bye bye.
Sure. Bye bye.